Hey there, welcome to this week's video. Today I'm going to be reviewing Journey to Bethlehem. Back when the trailer for this movie first came out, I thought it was going to be a generic retelling of the nativity story, but I felt obligated to give it a shot, so I did. By the time I finished the trailer, I immediately wanted to go see it in theaters. Not only did it look pretty, but it had Lecrae playing the angel Gabriel and Antonio Banderas playing King Herod, and it was a musical. Yeah, a nativity musical. And it's actually really fun, at least fun enough to watch it twice in the span of 48 hours. You may be wondering though whether it stays loyal to scripture or does it change the story at all, especially since it's made by a secular studio like Sony. To that I would say yes and no. When the movie starts, it says that it's inspired by a true story, and then when it finishes, and I'm kind of paraphrasing here, it says that even though we took creative freedoms in this film, we still wanted to stay loyal to the greatest story ever told. There is a lot online about this film's accuracy, and I'll leave that up to you to look up. But the way I see it is that this film is not trying to be 100% true fact for fact to the original story, but it's taking the core aspects of the story that we already know and expanding on them, both to show a different perspective on some of the characters, but also just to make a fun musical similar to the style of maybe the live-action Aladdin and High School Musical. So I think that if you view this movie as a creative retelling of the story, the inaccuracies are a lot less distracting, and it's easier to watch this movie just for what it is. In terms of the story, the filmmakers portrayed both Mary and Joseph as strangers until the betrothal, via an arranged marriage set up by the parents. Regardless of if they really were strangers in the actual story, it showed some interesting perspectives, and it showed how both Mary and Joseph had to trust each other as well as God's plan for their lives, especially once Mary finds out that she's pregnant. It does a good job at bringing much more depth to all of these characters, and it helps the audience relate to them in potentially a way that they haven't before. But obviously the fact that this is a musical is what sets this movie apart from other versions of the story. Apart from one very brief group number that didn't really feel that needed, I really enjoyed all of the songs. All of the cast had great singing voices, and especially Mary and Joseph had some really fun songs, both in solo and in duet form. Even King Herod and his son, a character that they created for this movie, have really impressive voices and have songs that embody their characters really well. And what was good about this film was that almost all of the songs relayed the strong emotions of the character singing, which makes the story and the music blend and work together really well. Got to wait for the plane to go by. Benefits of living near an airport. But there are some things here and there that either took me out of the story for a bit or I felt didn't really work that well. First off, like I said, Lecrae plays the angel Gabriel, and I was really excited for whatever song he was going to have. But he only sings very briefly in a group and doesn't have anything that he sings by himself, which kind of bummed me out and I thought was kind of a missed opportunity. If you're going to hire the most popular rapper in the Christian music industry for a musical, he should probably have a song. Also, even though I really like King Herod's song, it felt a little bit too contemporary, especially in terms of the beat, and the pace of how the scene was edited didn't really match the feel of the song. And in regards to the contemporary songs, that was another thing that I really wasn't too sure about. The music style didn't feel like it matched the look and the setting to the movie at all, which made some of the songs feel a little bit disconnected from the rest of the movie. But to be fair, this was my same issue with The Greatest Showman initially, which has grown on me since, so we'll see if this movie does the same later on. There are also a few cringy parts and some kind of ridiculous sequences, but this is a musical, so personally I think if you embrace those things as part of the fun of the film, it can make the movie really enjoyable to watch. And now just a brief note for the parents. This movie is rated PG, and it's primarily just for the alcohol use that you see Herod briefly use throughout the film. And if you know the nativity story, you know that it can be very intense with King Herod having the order to kill all of the babies. But this movie does not go that far into the story, so you don't have to worry about any intense sequences relating to that aspect. And that's it for today's video. If you're interested in more reviews, go ahead and check out my videos down below, or check out my Instagram, where I've periodically posted slightly abridged reviews for this and other movies that aren't on this channel. And then for those of you who want to know more about the specific contents of this film, I have the link to the plugged in and Common Sense Media reviews down below, as well as the Parent's Guide for IMDb. So I'll see you next time, and have a great Christmas.